gonna, I can't remember how many pages they said it would take, but like,
Just for,
yeah, something like
but
this.
that's
or
the thing, I don't even bother checking staple on it because it never does.
Right.
Like, they're always out. That's
Let's
great.
make that
I
not-
know, it's fun.
Yeah.
Did
I
Jeff
got,
tell
you know,
you
they said that I did that. I had people tell me I did that on purpose. I was like,
Make a little revenge, we make this one, right?
no, you're just gonna give me more trouble.
Committee meeting.
Should I go run to the bank and grab my paperwork?
Oh. Forward it to me. No, it's
Football team's coming in tomorrow.
Oh, yeah? Nice. Both or just?
Calendar.
What one is that committee?
Community relations.
Okay.
And what I asked is, I asked him if it didn't matter to anyone, we could butt it up with the next, with the September board meeting, right before that.
Yeah.
Then,
Yeah.
then it's only one trip.
Right, no, right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, send that to me now.
Okay.
Jog his memory.
Bunch of A10 and a bunch of Wi-Fi's.
Yeah, I'd be out there with Friday. My daughter gets married Saturday.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so
There's a
it's
lot going
been,
on.
it is, there's a lot going on, but it's been fun, so,
Oh, yeah.
but still. A lot. Need to sign.
Yeah, all the seniors and the coaches are coming in tomorrow. To shoot my property.
So you both copies, me, and Stacy. So when you get a chance to, I know.
Man, I'm getting tired of the rain, Billy.
Is that raining again?
I think so. Felt like the house was gonna be shaking down the other night when that storm came through.
I was smoking a brisket, so I had to go out in it.
Oh, yeah. It was
messed
really
up with
stormy.
my time, my smoker time.
Oh, my gosh, you can't mess with brisket.
No. I had to go out with an umbrella while it's lightning, and I'm like, is this piece of meat worth getting?
Right. Aw.
But I did it, so I guess it was worth it.
Bob had never been downtown to save it. Bob had never been downtown to save it, so.
Really?
And there today, he's like, that's a nice office. I said, yeah, it is.
Hi, Cindy. How are you? Doing well. How are you?
Good. What do you got,
How are we
people
doing on
watching?
replacing you? They interviewed today, yeah, so they called you back for Wednesday. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry to see you go. Thanks, I mean, it was a great experience, I'm so glad for the opportunity, I learned a lot, but it's just a point in my life where this is a lot of expectations, which I've been good at. It's just, I don't know, it should be put in.
Crypto's back up, Billy. Crypto's back
You
up.
would. You don't know until you.
Should have bought it while it was down.
Gave me a little scared. Started to go back down, I almost sold it all.
Really?
Yeah.
Diana, take your spot.
I made all my money back, and I made all my money back and started going back down to where I was losing money. Nice sell right there.
I thought you were in it for the long haul.
I am. Carrie has plans.
Well, good, well, best of luck. So now you're going to.
Big shop?
Yeah, amen.
Big shop?
No, no big shot.
How much longer do you?
You need me.
Probably 60 in 2 years. I'd like to go, I'll probably get 62 now. I mean, had I stayed here, I would have done it 60. you leave work,
You did this for what, 2 years?
just a year,
Just a year.
yeah.
You already have a-
You know, you leave your the office that you didn't like,
You like?
and then got the next day stuff to do, and I said, Jeff, you need to hire another person in here. I said, this is just, I didn't feel very successful, you know, and I don't know that you can in those positions too, so.
It's always, keeps on going, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's
I
funny.
just was thinking about your 3 highest,
I know, and that was, it's
So
been,
you
that was a
need
tough
Darth
call, but,
Vader eyes?
you know,
but
my.
you were aware.
I'm always
Yep,
looking to see if
yep,
you
I
can-
kinda
because
shut myself
the
up a little
audio's
bit,
gone.
but.
The audio's on?
Yeah.
Well, mute it.
I mean, like I said, I enjoyed this, no hard feelings, I loved it, I've learned so
call the meeting to order. It's the mission of Montague Area Public Schools to educate and inspire all students to become motivated, articulate, productive, and successful citizens for today, tomorrow, and forever. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have roll call, please.
Dr. Unger? Here. Mr. Moreau?
Here.
Mrs. Dahl? Here. Mr. Johnson? Mrs. Francis? Here. Mr. Weisheisen?
Here.
Mr. Rath?
Here.
Mr. Johnson did inform us that he would not be at tonight's meeting.
Item 4 is the approval of the agenda as presented.
So moved. Support.
Motion made by Blair, support by Scott. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 5 is to approve the consent agenda as presented,
So moved. Support.
again by Blair and support by Scott. Discussion? All those in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 6 is public comment portion of the meeting. At this time, I don't believe we have any public comment. Is there anyone from the audience that wishes to speak? Okay, thank you. Item 7 is reports.
All right. Moving forward, just an update. We have hired Nicholas Taylor as the new girls varsity basketball coach. He comes to us from Grand Haven Public Schools as the boys JV basketball coach. We also have a transfer of Kathy Ullman, who is here at the table today. I'd like to thank her for all her time as the administrative assistant and payroll in central office. I thought she did a great job. She is transferring to the elementary at the MAC, the Early Childhood Center. We are currently in interviews for that position. We had those today, and we should have some hirings done within this week. Moving into other comments, obviously this is a busy time of year. Lots of final hirings are taking place with some of the changes that you'll see later on in the new business that produce some hiring needing to take place as far as other positions. We have also, just like in the other districts, they're moving, and that creates a carousel. And sometimes we are taking teachers or staff from other districts, and they're doing the same. I will be giving you an update later in the week as far as some of those changes are concerned. A couple of teachers that have left, just overall. You've seen them previously in the resignations. We will have one more teacher added to the list as well. But in that process, it creates a lot of interviews for our principals and teams working in that process. Also preparing for opening day. August 30th is the first day of school. We start the professional development the week prior, that Wednesday and Thursday for all staff. We will be doing professional development with the new hires starting that Tuesday. Still in constant contact with the Muskegon County and DHD-10 health departments in meetings at this point in time. We are still continuing to move forward as previously planned. Obviously, there is the new MDHHS guidance that we are looking for and working through as we move closer to the school. So at this point in time, we're still looking to be in class every single day without masks and moving forward. Obviously, as things change, we will let you know on that as well. And that is it for superintendent comments.
Item 8 is new business. We have a motion to approve the hiring of Kurt Hansen as Montague High School principal.
So moved. Support.
Motion made by Brent, support by Scott. Discussion.
As you obviously have seen in your packet, Kurt Hansen is a staff member here in the district. He's high school principal. Does come to us with some previous administrative experience here in the district as well. We are excited to have Kurt continue the good work that has been taking place at Montague High School and move that forward. I do believe I saw Kurt here earlier. There he is. So thank you for Kurt for putting his name, and we're excited to have him join us.
favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item B is a motion to approve the hiring of Christy Thoman as Director of Student Services.
Support.
Motion made by Scott, support by Amanda. Discussion?
So also a familiar face in the district. Christy Thoman has done a great job with us at the elementary level, working with some of our special education students and doing many things across the district as well in that capacity. She does have high school experience as well, so she will be stationed at the elementary, but taking on that Director of Student Services, really putting processes and procedures that were initiated previously, putting them in place at that elementary level so we can continue to grow our student services work, specifically at that elementary level, moving it into middle school and high school in that process. I think Christy will do a great job. She does have some high school experience across all grade levels, so we are excited to have Christy to join us as well.
She's here too.
Is she here as well? I didn't see her there. And there is Christy. So we're excited to have Christy as well.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations to both of you. Item C is consideration to approve the resolution to borrow $700,000 from local banks to meet the general fund obligations. Motion made by Scott, support by Brent. Discussion?
So this is every year the resolution that we do to make sure that we can cover the payroll expenses throughout the year. Obviously, some years has been more, some years have been less. We originally thought that we were going to need to have to borrow more, but with the pupil counting increase, we feel that we are definitely in a better position. What really creates this is that there is no September state aid that is applied to us. So in order to be able to cover those costs throughout the year, specifically in the January and June months, we need to have this additional $700,000. The interest rate is about 1% on this, which would cost the district about $7,000.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item D is consideration to approve the upgrade of the district security cameras using Presidio in the amount of $80,665 to be paid with safety and tech millage funds.
So moved. Support.
Motion made by Blair, support by Scott. Discussion?
So in the past, we used a company called Oculus, and Oculus is an older software. It is becoming harder for us to obtain. Licensing costs have increased through that process as well. These dollars are for not only for some of the actual cameras that will be a part of this, but the service and the software for the cameras. And we're looking to provide more the ability to save more footage. Right now, we currently are looking at about a 30-day window on some of our cameras, our high traffic areas, but this would allow for our current camera system to allow us to save more footage based upon those areas of cameras that we have throughout the district in areas that aren't of high traffic areas, or are of high traffic areas where the supervision might not necessarily be in the full amount. So trying to make sure that we have the servers, upgrades to the servers, to the softwares in these areas, and John feels that this is the company that we would like to go with. You saw the quotes there. This is another plus to this as well, is that this is the same software and work that the ISD uses as well. So the ability to work with the ISD on some of the things that we have previously as well will be very beneficial.
Any other discussion?
How many extra cameras was it?
I specifically don't know if they actually even put a camera number in there. It had to do more with the, it's a great question. Where, John, are you out there? No, he is not. I don't think it gave a camera number amount.
It didn't in the quote, no.
Do the existing cameras work on this system, Jeff?
Yes, they do.
So they're adding some and replacing
So
some?
we are a little bit of both. We will be replacing more than what we'll be adding. So those are 201 camera licenses, not necessarily the actual cameras.
Yeah, so it's like a seat.
Yeah.
So it's replace and new?
Replace and new. But really the costs are more associated with the server itself and
Right.
the licensing of
Okay.
that work.
What are considered our high traffic areas?
Gymnasiums, entryways, the athletic area back, the athletic entrance, the gymnasium, the cafeteria area, the hallways of entryway, the bus entry, the main entry by by both offices there. The main hallways, so the corner by the counseling office down there, so cameras that would shoot both ways that way. And then another one down what would be considered, I think, the senior hallway is what they call it. Down the other way would be at the high school level. Same thing in the middle school, that commons area. That'd be another thing for the high school, the commons area as well. But the NBC outside the gymnasium there, in the gymnasium, by the front entrance doors, and then kind of shots that would go down each hallway. At the end, I believe it was at the end of last year, at some point last year, Mr. Rockwood and each of the building principals actually walked around each of the buildings and kind of got an idea like, hey, this is a camera that we use a lot, so we want to keep this. This would be an area that maybe we could, if there was dollars to be looked at. All of those percentages, I don't know exactly what would be filled, but this would be a project that we want to continue to move forward with. The idea in looking at some of this is that the servers and the software weren't to the levels that we needed them to be in order to keep progressing forward.
Thank you.
Any other discussion?
This covers all buildings in one,
This is all buildings, correct?
so you can look at all
Yes.
buildings in any
Correct.
location.
Yep, not just the high school.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item E is consideration to approve the boiler control project using Grand Valley Automation in the amount of $42,780 to be paid with sinking fund monies.
So moved.
Support.
Motion made by Blair, support by Scott. Discussion?
So obviously, we had previous votes take place around the boilers. In this process, the control panels that we felt were going to be accessible with this boiler project are not necessarily the case. So this would be additional control panels that would work well with all the boilers. And you can see the quote that did take place. There's, because the new boilers, you're talking about approximately $8,000 per each building, with the RRO being that is not one of the newer boilers that we have put in there. It is going to be additional dollars selected to the RRO system as well. The reason why we're not putting this out necessarily for a full-out bid is that it is per the building costs that are there, and as you can see, each of the building costs are under the putting out for bid. This is the same company that did put in all the boilers as well, so it makes sense that they are compatible and working straight.
So the-
Really, the idea, what we would have liked to done is with the architect's bid is actually put this in the last bid as well. But this was an additional add-on that we did not see that we needed to have at that point in time. So, in hindsight, we would like to put this back in the original bid with the boilers.
Yeah, it was just, so they bid boilers, but no control panels that work.
Correct. They said put in an $8,000 to $10,000 range, which you can see over the original
Yeah.
dollar amounts, but then with the additional dollars added to it, if that makes sense. So basically, we did not bid properly. They did not bid it properly for us with the control panels. They put a minimal dollar amount. Now, part of that is the increased pricing. As far as from when we did the boilers previously till now, I mean, within a year's time, you do see an increase of pricing, but it would be, the control panels we thought we needed to have did not work compatiibly with the boilers that we have.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item F is the NEOL policies first reading.
So, this is the winter updates from the Neola policy. You saw many different policies in there. I think the big thing to look at or just think about, I guess, within these policies are concerned, but at any point in time, the policy committee can update as well as within this, is that these policies have been revised to reflect changes in terminology and definitions, terms, and processes that are consistent with the latest regulations released by the USDE, so the United States Department of Education, specifically the Title IX regulations. So we had talked about that previously with some policy changes even to the handbook. These are just the terminologies or definitions. So it's not really changes of the policy themselves, it's just defining terms. So with the changes, it then created question marks as to what the terms mean or defining specific things. As you run through, you can see a number of different policies, specifically to federal spending funds, procurements, property inventory, accounting systems, and capital assets. You also saw around the non-discrimination, equal employment opportunity language, section 504 and ADA compliance, and disability discrimination based in employment, anti-harassment, non-discrimination, and access to equal education opportunity were some of the policies that were changed previously, and these are now the definition changes that match that in the policies. Also, besides some of those, you see some emergency medical authorization that spoke to do not resuscitate laws that have since changed as far, within schools, so we now will match that as well. You see video surveillance and electronic monitoring revised, criminal justice information security, so as far as changes that took place within the Department of Homeland Security, this would, and the Michigan State Police, this now reflects into our board policy as well. Student records, a policy has been revised to comply with the obligation not to disclose the address of a student who provides with the district that received a participation card. So within the Attorney General, if they are part of the program that states that they should not, they're under confidentiality program, there's the Address of Confidentiality Program Act that we cannot give out that information, where previously that would have been the case. And then food services, the policy has been revised to add emphasis being sought by the USDA to prohibit stigmatizing students who lack the funds to pay for their meals or with unpaid meal charges. So obviously we never let students go hungry here. We offer some kind of food for them, whether it be a peanut butter jelly sandwich or some sort. It might not necessarily be the full-out menu. And this is just basically stating that we cannot stigmatize that student or humiliate them in that process, which I would believe that we would not done that previously, but now it's in policy. And then also some wellness changes as well based upon the USDA regulations as well. So take another look at those. Also, as a policy committee, we did meet around 9130 public complaints, which we had a discussion previously, and the 0144.3, the conflict of interest. In the conflict of interest, we felt that there was no changes needed. In the public comment piece, we did feel that based upon first level, second level, third level, as far as public complaints, that there should be a revision taking place. I have not finalized those revisions yet, but I will be sending those out. But really, it speaks to around some of the support staff or our coaching roles, where it didn't really follow any kind of chain of command. So we're wanting to make sure we adapt those a little bit. We will be sending those out to you down the road as well, and just making sure that we include a process that would allow for a chain of command. So there's some good conversations there. Any time I was in here about Blair and Amanda, anything else that you'd like to add based upon? There was one other thing I'd like to add as well, that there was a question mark from the policy committee when it spoke to days. There is some clarity questions around days. I did share that with the policy committee, but sometimes you're going to see business days, plain days, then you can also see calendar days. Really, what we're going to rely on the guidance of the lawyer at this point in time. And if we wanted to change it as far as days and should try to keep that consistency of just the word days, legally it would mean business days for a school district. And so what they did is they changed it. They used the word days because there is a definition of that in the policy, in policy as a whole, that anytime it says days, it means business days of the school. But anytime they can use the word business days or business days in that, they like to try to keep that. So they're trying to get rid of the word calendar days and put in business days. Anything else, Amanda or Blair, based upon the policies? Okay. So take another look at those. Obviously, next month at the September board meeting, we will have a second reading of those. If you have any questions, I will, in the Friday updates coming up over the next couple of weeks, make sure that the links are there and you can have those as well.
In regards to public complaints, we are going to get a form and.
Yep, so there will be levels. I will be sharing that out first with the committee, the policy committee. From there, I will then also share it out with the rest of the board for thoughts, and then we'll bring that back to a board meeting to further discuss that.
As a semi-new board member, just a quick question on the policy. So we take these Neola policies, they're fairly standard. They keep up to date with the legalities of policy. We take those then and modify those to fit the district, or do we take them verbatim, or how does that?
For the most part, we take them verbatim. There are, sometimes what they'll do is they will give some small modification choices that best fit your district, and it's basically check this box or check that box.
Okay.
And from there, we will take it. I'll share with the policy committee. It happens twice a year. We have the winter and then they call it the winter and the fall, but it's really, by the time the winter comes around, it's spring, so it's like spring and fall into the summer process. And these are updates just based on legalities. If we ever want to change a policy ourselves, we can always do that. We'll run it through the policy committee and then bring it back to the board as well.
But we review all those, though, all the
Yes,
changes
correct,
and new policies. Okay.
correct, yeah.
And then where
Then
it's,
approve them as a board.
where it's tailored to the district is through administrative guidelines.
That's correct.
Okay.
There's nothing else with
There
there.
is no other votes that needed for that process. That will take place in the next meeting.
Just a motion to adjourn. So moved. Motion made by Cindy, support by Blair. All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for all of your attention too.
Thank you.